on digital radio, on the app, on your smart speaker, on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch.tv, and Facebook.
The Sportscast. Expect the unexpected.
The update presented by the Sportscast.
The Sportscast, September 16th, 2024. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to all our channels, YouTube, Twitch, X, and Apple Podcasts. You can also listen to us on your smart speaker. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please leave a rating and review. Hit that like button. Smash it. Also, you can listen to us on your smart speaker. Also, visit our website, thesportscast.net. And also, you can follow us on X and Instagram at the Sportscast1, and check out our app, the Sportscast for iOS. I told Madden week 2 was spicy and a lot of different storylines popping up. We thought this team would do this and this team would do that. No, things kind of reverse in a few matches. Dan, welcome back to the Sportscast.
Yeah, good to be back. That's why you play the game. You know, you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly. People overreacted in week 1. But week 2 is interesting, and we got some late breaking news we got to discuss. Bryce Young is being benched by the Carolina Panthers, and they got backup Andy Dalton, now the starter for the Panthers. Dan, this was coming. Are you surprised?
No, not at all. We saw the writing on the wall last year. I mean, he just really didn't get better as the season went on, and this year, the fans were probably somewhat hoping for some resurgence in the offseason, but it just got worse, and they just had to make a decision. And who knows, maybe Dalton will pull us Darnold and have a resurgence, second coming, if you will, and give him some energy.
Yeah, and the Panthers obviously lost in week 1 against New Orleans Saints, which we now know they're the real deal, which we'll get to that a little bit later on the show. And of course they lost yesterday against the Chargers at home. So did not help out. Of course, that's an easy win. Everyone's saying the Carolina Panthers are gonna be like a slam dunk, but do you think Andy Dalton would be helpful or like would improve things a bit?
I would say so. I mean, he's a veteran. Has been in the league a long time. And I think. I mean, they'll at least be able to win a few games, but I don't think, he's going to be the future starter. I mean, I think they're going to look to the draft next year for sure, because they'll probably have the top pick or if not the second pick.
Yeah, bridge quarterback for sure for the next quarterback. So we'll see what happens there in Carolina. A couple more injuries that affected, I think, a lot going on with these teams. First is the Jets, New York Jets, Jermaine Johnson. That could help out Hassan Reddick get that contract he wanted.
Yeah, I'm sure the agent went in the room, today and just he said, "All right, let's get this done." I mean, they kind of lost the leverage there. I mean,
here's the paperwork. Sign it. Yeah, this is good for Hassan Reddick. Obviously, he just got traded to the Jets this past offseason. He did not suit up. He hasn't taken a snap with the Jets at all, so he wants a big contract. So this could be his opportunity. The Jets need a pass rusher. They won yesterday, actually, which we'll get to a little bit later. Another big injury, Isaiah Pacheco, ankle injury for the Chiefs, running back. Is that a big deal? I know the Chiefs are loaded with like wide receivers, but Pacheco's the main guy when it comes to the running game.
So he just a burst in the backfield, getting the running game going. I think that's big news. I mean, it just kind of changes the dynamic of the offense when he's not out there. Similar to, when Samuel's out for the 49ers, it just kind of changes the offense.
Big time. And CMC, Christian McCaffrey, I've been hearing until week 6 he might play. Is that what you've heard too?
I did. Yeah. That's
not good.
Not good. No.
And they lost against Minnesota, so it does not really help out yesterday, which is another impressive team. There's a couple teams I have to say Minnesota's one of them. The Patriots, and the New Orleans Saints. Those teams, have you
Oh,
thought
there's
they
a
will ever
big
go 2-0
surprise.
like that?
No, not at all. That Minnesota, JJ McCarthy, you think he's going to be the guy, the savior, and Darnold comes in, plays out of his mind. And it's like,
He's
who's
playing for a
JJ
contract, man.
McCarthy? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's playing
If
for a
it's not in
contract.
Minnesota, it's somewhere else for sure.
Miami? I don't know.
Yeah.
There's some quite no updates on Tua. Actually, he'll be seeing a neurologist this week. I've been convinced this past weekend. I've been talking to a lot of people, probably you do as well, that he should retire. I mean, 3 concussions, that is massive medically.
It is, and yeah, and if you look at that, I mean, it's not like he got really hit super hard. It just was kind of. I mean, his brain is. I mean, got to be jello at this. I mean, to actually, do it's not good. And I mean, like I said, if he comes back, I mean, he needs to wear. What do they the helmet?
It's the G helmet.
Yeah. I
Like
really
it's
think
the
he
G
needs
word.
to. I mean, I know there's a few players that are wearing that. I mean, not many, but I mean, I think it should be mandatory. And really, I think the league maybe should put something in, like if you've had a concussion, or a couple, you should have to wear that. I mean, I just think he'd be foolish not to if he does come back.
And I've heard about those helmets are like they're indestructible. I mean, you can get hit 10 times and you're fine.
Yeah.
So, yep. I mean, I will recommend it. I've been hearing. I think we talked about this offline that maybe sit out for the season, and come back next season. But that's just it's a lot of debate out there of what's going to happen with Tua Tagovailoa. But he hasn't retired yet. But if he does, he could have some guaranteed money.
He could. The way I was reading it, that if he gets cleared by medical staff that he's able to play, and he decides for his own personal well-being that he's just going to retire, then he doesn't get the guaranteed money. That's what I heard. So it puts the team to in a tough spot, okay, so what are we going to do? Clear him and hopefully retire, because I mean, obviously they don't want to be on the hook on that money if he decides to retire. But the way it's written up, from what I'm hearing, that's the way it is.
And also, there was another contract dispute I heard yesterday about Deshaun Watson, your Browns quarterback, that if he gets suspended, he has to pay back that guaranteed money.
Yeah, no. So they pulled a quick one on him. I think Watson's probably having some words or firing his agent right now if he didn't know that was in there when they restructured the deal to free up some cap space, that they put a clause in there that if he was suspended again, that they don't owe him the guarantee. So obviously you saw in the news this past week that something's come up from 2020. The NFL is investigating it. So, I mean, if it comes down the pike, if I'm the Browns, I mean, secretly I might be like, hey, what do we got to do to make sure this
does come through?
Here,
and there is a video I heard that that could be a spoiler for everything.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Well, there you have it. Top headlines of the weekend. A lot going on. It's only week 2 of the NFL, but I thought it's going to be very good. But anyways, Dan, are you ready to recap week 2 of the NFL 2024? All right, let's get this going. Top game, the shock. Minnesota defeat. Great San Francisco 49ers, one of the best teams in the NFL, just came into the U.S. Bank Stadium and left with a loss that should put the entire league on notice. Sam freaking Darnold threw 2 touchdown passes and led a clutch scoring drive in the fourth quarter as the Vikings emerged with impressive 23-17 gain over the defending NFC champions.
Sam Darnold's been very impressive right now. Threw for 268 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he is having a resurgence right now, and good for them. You think that J.J. McCarthy hurt, the season's over, but Storyline of San Francisco, Ayuk got his money, and he really hasn't performed. I mean, I'm counting 6 passes for 71 yards in 2 games. I mean, got his bag and just, decided to call it quits. I don't know, but missing the whole pre-off-season workouts, I think has something to say about that.
Something about these contracts. When players get these contracts, they don't perform as best.
It seems to be. I mean, it feels like that. You play for your contract and to get the money, but then when you get it, it's like, okay, I got it. So then you can kind of get lax, But play for the love of the game and compete.
Exactly. I agree. You gotta love the game. I thought the Patriots won. No, they did not. They lost against Seattle. Jason Myers of the Seahawks hit a 31-yard field goal in overtime to lift Seattle over New England, 23-20 over New England Patriots. Geno Smith led Seattle on an 8-play, 71-yard to the New England's 13 to set up the winning score. Smith was 33 of 44, Dan, for 227 yards at the end of the day with a 56-yard touchdown to DK Metcalf in the first half. Seattle is 2-0, not Patriots.
Yeah, no, I mean, Geno played a great game. I mean, I think it's about a quarterback play in this game. I mean, Brissett is more of a game manager. Geno Smith is, a legit QB. I think overall, though, I mean, you've got to be happy if you're New England. They competed and, there's not moral victories, but they were right in this game. So they might be better than anticipated.
Quite interesting. Do you think this is a different New England team from previous years, or you're going to see more players?
No, I do. I think, you just kind of become complacent with the same old. So getting a new regime in there, a new mindset, that maybe can relate more with the younger guys. So it'll be interesting to see what the rest of the season holds.
Patriots 1-1. Let's go to the NFC East. Jaden Daniels, rookie quarterback, got the wind knocked out of him, missed a snap, and came back like nothing went wrong. What a player. He led the Commanders down the field over and over without a touchdown to show for it and made sure they will put points on the board when it mattered most. Jaden Daniels got the job done and picked up his first win as an NFL quarterback, beating the Giants 21-18, who did not have a kicker most of the game. And also the Commanders had 7 field goals from the new kicker, Austin Seibert. This was a dirty game. Kind of, not dirty game, but it was kind of, a little weak. I think.
Yeah, for sure. But I think you got to be happy if you're a Washington fan with the pick of Jaden Daniels. I mean, he's going to be I really believe, a really good quarterback. They got to find him a way to not run as much because, I mean, he's not going to sustain, running all these similar to Williams, running all the time because you're just going to get hurt. So he's got to stay in the pocket a little longer, and he'll learn that as the year goes on.
Yeah, and they got to figure out these backup kickers because it can cost you a game. An extra point here and there. You got to convert them 4th down now that you have no kicker. That's tough to do. Anyways, this game might have cost Bryce Young starting position. Justin Herbert threw 2 touchdown passes, Dan, to Quentin Johnston. J.K. Dobbins, my gosh, ran for 131 yards. He's having a better career with the Chargers than the Ravens, including a 43-yard touchdown, and the Chargers drubbed the Panthers 26-3, making Bryce Young a backup quarterback.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, no, I mean, this, like I said it last week, I mean, this is Harbaugh's style. I mean, J.K. Dobbins is going to thrive under this, just ground and pound and putting him in a position to do that. And, yeah, I mean, Bryce Young, I mean, kind of feel bad for the kid. I mean, he's human, and but like I said, but you can't feel too bad. He's going to be a millionaire as a backup, and you just sit on the bench and maybe get in once in a while. So you can't feel too bad, right?
You can't feel too bad. Yeah, these contracts are too massive, man. You're good for retirement for the rest of your life, at least your own life. I know Tua has multi-generational money, so his kids will see it at least. So anyways, the surprise game of the Sunday yesterday, I don't know. It might have been Kamara. Alvin Kamara scored 4 touchdowns. Saints and Cowboys 16-game home streak in regular season with a 44-19 win. Dan, I didn't see this coming.
Me neither.
Maybe you were a Derek Carr believer. He threw for 243 yards. But what are your thoughts over this surprising win by the Saints?
No, it's big shocker. I mean, I think a new offensive coordinator with the Saints is a big to do. Was it always Derek Carr all these years? I mean, you got a good coordinator now, and it's putting them in good spots. And I mean, they are just lighting it up right now. So it's they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. In Dallas, I mean, they got to get the run game going. I mean, they averaged a little over 3 yards a carry. They need that to complement Dak and not make it so hard on him for sure.
Where's Dalvin Cook? We'll see what happens with Dallas Cowboys. Another big contract there with Prescott, but hey, it happens. Packers, Malik Willis, backup quarterback. Jordan Love was out because of an MCL sprain, and he wasn't ready for with Tennessee a year ago. He was ready with the Packers. They defeat the Colts 16-10. What a massive win. I don't know. Might have been. Good for the Packers if they're 1-1, but your thoughts over this matchup?
Yeah, no, I'm happy from – I think he was like 12 for 14. I was kind of surprised when I saw that. So, I mean, overall, pretty good game, low-scoring game. But, yeah, good win for Green Bay, the backup quarterback.
Malik Willis, Liberty alum. Congratulations. Hopefully, I think Love might be back next week, though.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Okay, this is the game of the day, according to Dan Madden. Jacksonville. I'm not sure who you predicted it. I'm not sure if you thought that the Browns had a chance to win in Jacksonville. Tough place to play, by the way. Really hot. Deshaun Watson, he actually had a good game. Ran for a touchdown. Hopkins kicked 3 field goals, and the stingy Cleveland Browns did enough to hold off the Jaguars 18-13 Sunday. Dan, you have the floor on this one.
Yeah, no, I didn't see this coming after last week. I just figured in Jacksonville they would lose at least by 2 touchdowns. But the defense stepped up again. A little wet conditions could have been a part of that. The Browns, Watson actually had some deep routes. He looked good in the first half. They got the ground game going with Foreman. I mean, they were running the ball well. Amari Cooper had some drops, which I didn't understand. I mean, usually he's pretty sure-handed, so it kind of hurt him a little bit. But just Brown style, they're the old cardiac kids. They wanted to give the game away at the end. I mean, they had it, and they ended up were in field goal range to go up another 3 points, and they had like 2 penalties and pushed them back out of field goal range. They had to kick it and had to rely on the defense to get a stop. But overall, got the win, sloppy win, way too many penalties. They got to clean that up moving forward. I mean, just stupid, pre-start penalties, and you just can't have that to put you behind the sticks for sure. But Watson at least made some decent throws down the field, which I liked. Showed some promise there, so we'll see. They got the Giants this week, so that'll be a winnable game for sure. So they got to get there.
That's a winnable game. No guaranteed wins, but that is a winnable game. That's probably the right thing. So congratulations to the Browns. We'll see what happens. Jacksonville in trouble, 0-2.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. No, Lawrence. Yeah, for sure. He had to pick again. So I mean he's not looking himself. So.
Yeah, and they changed the stadium name to Trevor Stadium because the sponsor's Ever Bank or something.
Oh, so right. Yeah.
Change it for the day, Trevor Stadium, but that did not help them out.
No.
So we'll see it was pretty hot in Jacksonville, I imagine. Mm-hmm. So the Browns pulled through. Let's go into Tennessee. Braylon Allen, the NFL's youngest player, ran for a 20-yard touchdown with 4 minutes and 31 seconds left to put Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets ahead to stay as they beat Tennessee 24-17 on Sunday. Aaron Rodgers has some relief. He won his first game as a New York Jet.
He did. I mean, I got him over the hump. Wasn't his perfect game, but, win's a win. And, he threw for 176 yards, 2 touchdowns. So, nothing to sneeze at there. But he got the win. And turnovers for Tennessee is the problem. I mean, they had a couple costly ones in this game for sure.
The Jets defense hold down Tennessee under 20 points. San Francisco was a different story. But, hey, Jets – they got some relief, maybe some momentum after this game. Anyone can beat Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
and Carolina. Those are the 2 worst teams, I think.
Yeah.
As we speak. Wow.
Yep.
Anyways, this is a rematch of the playoffs. Baker Mayfield had 11-yard touchdown run late in the third quarter, Dan, and the Buccaneers beat the Lions 20-16 on Sunday in a playoff rematch, a revenge game. I think this is the fourth year in a row that the Bucs are 2-0. Dan, this is a big game win for
It is.
for
It's
the
a
Bucs.
statement game, and Baker's baking. He's cooking right now, and he's getting it going with Godwin right now, and him paired with Evans. I mean, they are a 1-2 punch there. So that they're going to be a force for sure.
Force to be reckoned with.
Yep.
And the Lions, they'll be okay, right? They just lost.
I think so. Yeah, they're not the old Lions. They're the new Lions. I think that I think this was just a game that they lost, but I think they'll be in the hunt for sure.
Another shocker game. Gardner Minshew and the Las Vegas Raiders brushed aside years of frustration and criticism with a memorable performance on a splendid afternoon for the underdogs. Minshew led 3 scoring drives in the fourth quarter. Their kicker Carlson kicked the go-ahead 38-yard field goal with 27 seconds left to beat the Ravens 26-23. I didn't see this coming, but this was a shocker of the shock. Probably not as big as the Saints, but this is big.
No, real big. I'm sure they got the cigars back from last year after this win because they got to celebrate this one. I mean, didn't see this coming. Minshew, I mean, I always liked him. I thought he was a good player, has a little swag to him, pretty confident, and he could deliver the ball and put him in position to win. And costly turnover there at the end by Jackson, lost the game more sense. So,
How do you think the Derrick Henry chemistry is coming along? I mean, that's what they needed because they want Jackson to run less. But do you think it's working out or still some improvement?
Yeah, well, the first game it seemed to, but yeah, they need to feed him the ball. I mean, I'm sure it's going to take a little time, but I mean, I think it was a good pickup, and I think it'll be good for him.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with the Ravens. Still contenders, 0-2. Is that bad? Not yet.
It's a shocker. I mean, if you would have told me that the Ravens would be 0-2 coming into the year, and the Steelers would be 2-0, I mean, it's interesting.
What if I told you that the Browns would beat the Jaguars?
Yeah, right, exactly.
In Jacksonville. Okay.
Yep.
Let's go to Arizona. Everyone's saying, where's Marvin Harrison Jr. week 1? Well, he came in week 2. He caught a couple, 3 touchdowns by Murray, 266 yards. Actually, Harrison had 2 touchdowns. And Murray had 266 yards. He threw for it. Cardinals beat the Rams 41-10. There was no shame by Arizona.
No, if you remember the headlines this week, everyone was Murray was saying that it wasn't his job to feed Harrison the ball. Well, I think the management got to Murray and said, it is your job to get Harrison the ball because he went off. He had a coming out party this week, and I think you're going to see more of that. Bigger story, Kupp got hurt
big time
this week, and so they got 2 receivers. They're 2 targets that are banged
no
up.
Puka
so that
either.
Yeah, so that's a little scary.
That's not good. Yeah, Puka should be back in a few weeks. And Kupp, I don't know what's his status. Is he out for a few weeks or?
I haven't heard.
Like today's MRI day. So tomorrow. So hopefully things are not too bad. Let's go to Kansas City. The Bengals are always going to be an issue for the Chiefs. Butker, one of the best kickers in the NFL, drilled a 51-yarder as the Chiefs beat the Bengals 26-25. Mahomes threw for 151 yards, Dan. But Burrow almost had it. The Bengals almost had it. They're 0-2 slow starts, but this game, these two are still rivals.
It was a great game. Watched all of it. And, you just kind of know that wasn't Mahomes' best game by a long shot. I mean, he showed that he was human this game. I mean, had some interceptions. And they play a little sloppy. Kelsey really hasn't got going. I mean, I think too much traveling here in the last couple of weeks, going with Taylor Swift all over, and he's love struck. But I think he'll get it together. Great game. And, there was a PI that, all the Bengals fans online, the refs, for Mahomes. And it clearly he tackled him early and put him in field goal range. And and you know that all the Chiefs fans, they were all yelling at Buckner what he said off season, but now they love him because he's a great kicker. So you forget what he says in his speeches when he's going to win you games, right?
He was about to kick a 52, 58 yarder or 61 yarder or something, but then they said, "No, that's still a punt."
Yeah, because there was too much time on the clock, and they would have gave him a short field that they could have went and kicked the field goal at the end of the half. So, yep.
You know that Justin Tucker's been missing 50 yarders for a while now, for a bit.
Yeah,
so
I know it.
I'm not sure what's going on. Is it the outside, the weather, or they just I don't know. They're just out of it. But hey, those kickers. There's been a lot of games this past 2 weeks that kickers have been winning the game. So, but you can't do that in the NFL, right, Dan? You got to score touchdowns.
Exactly. You can't rely on kicks all the time. We'll talk about that in the next game here.
The Steelers, of course, they're kicking team there. They got a good kicking team. Justin Fields and the Steelers squeak past the sputtering Denver Broncos. Another team anyone can beat, kind of. 13-6 on Sunday with Russell Wilson reprising his bitter role as sideline spectator in Mile High Stadium. So it was the Russell Wilson Bowl, even though he didn't play. But another ugly game, ugly win by the Steelers.
Yeah, no, they're sitting 2-0 with kicking and defense right now. At some point, Fields did have a touchdown, so good for him. But yeah, no, they're going to have to start getting the offense going moving forward to get some more points on the board for sure. But interesting moving forward. What are they going to do? Are they going to go with Fields, or are they going to
go
with Wilson?
Because Fields is not giving me much to keep him on the field.
No,
so exactly. I could play around with Russell Wilson and see how he does week 3 or week 4.
Yeah, exactly.
There's not much risk, so we'll see what happens. But you never know with Mike Tomlin. He does have a winning record every year, but likes to win in the fourth quarter. That's what they tell me.
For sure.
Anyways, let's go Sunday Night Football in Houston. Houston's winning ugly. These past 2 weeks, I haven't seen blowouts yet from them. C.J. Stroud threw for 260 yards and a touchdown, and Kamai Fairborn 4 field goals, another field goal kicker, to help the Texans top the Chicago Bears 19-13 on Sunday Night Football. Your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think the addition of Diggs is a huge addition. They connected. He seems more comfortable there, a little, more upbeat, and a good locker room guy, good leader. Too many sacks on Williams right now. He's just having to scramble too much. I found this. I got to read these stats because it's kind of funny.
Go for it.
On Williams, I saw it online. So in 2 games, 0 touchdowns, tied last in the league. 267 yards, second to last. 2 interceptions, 55.7 QBR rating, last, and 10 fingernails painted first.
Oh my!
Because he paints his nails. So I was too good not to share.
I can't believe he does that. Unbelievable. And he likes to dress different.
He has a different demeanor and style to him for sure. But
he's trying to compete with Russell Westbrook and from the NBA. And I can't think of anyone from the NBA that OBJ does dress a little bit different too. So, anyways, quite a week 2. But we have one more game tonight, and it's going to be not that close, but it is Atlanta Falcons at the Philadelphia Eagles. The 2 birds going at each other. What's going to happen tonight? Are we going to see a better Kirk Cousins version tonight, or we're going to see another lackluster? We can't connect. I'm trying to get used to the field. I just got back from an injury. What's going to happen tonight?
No, I don't think so. He might make a few more completions, but I don't think they're going to have enough to be able to put enough points on the board to make it a close game. We'll be going to bed early tonight, so
would be another Saquon Barkley's show.
Yeah, no, having him there, that just brings their offense to a new dynamic for sure. So.
Yeah, there was some talk in the Jersey Boys saying, now you're seeing Saquon running with a good line.
Exactly.
And they might be right. So we'll see what happens tonight, 8:20 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Do you watch the Manning Cast version, or do you watch the regular version?
I don't. I watch the regular version. So Most of, I have a 2 and a 4-year-old, so I put Blippy on the main TV, and I usually watch the game on my phone with my earbuds in to get her to go to bed. So.
Exactly, that's the best way. I mean, I don't want, and then hopefully by like the second quarter, they're in bed.
Yeah,
probably.
Usually 9:30, 9:15, 9:30. So that's the goal. So
yeah, I have not seen a full episode. I probably saw like a few minutes last week, but I definitely want to see a full one with Belichick. So I heard he has some good pointers in here and there, but we'll see tonight. I got the Eagles. You got the Eagles tonight. So I don't think Atlanta will have a shocker. I just don't see Philadelphia tonight. So, but quite something, quite a week too, Dan. Overall, what were your thoughts over these, like these past 2 weeks so far?
No, it's been, the headlines. I mean, every week. I mean, last week we were Tyreek Hill and Dak's big deal, and it's just like every week they're just off the field and leading up to the games, and a couple shockers that we didn't see coming. New Orleans being the main one, just playing lights out, and Baltimore being 0-2. I think, or
I didn't see that coming.
Big shocker.
1-1 at best.
Yeah,
I mean, worse, but I don't see a Saints Raiders Super Bowl either.
No.
with Derek Carr and everyone else. But anyways, quite a week. We'll be tweeting tonight. We'll see what happens with the game. Dan, what is the best way to reach you online to ask you about the Browns' optimism for the season?
Yeah. So on X, Danimal2478, or Facebook under Dan Madden.
And you can reach us at Sportscast1 on X and Instagram and the sportscast.net. Victor Rocho, Jersey Boys Sports Talk is this Thursday, 8 p.m. They've been talking about finances and sports. It's funny about the sports business. Well, the game itself, not like you talk about like the on-field stuff, Dan, but also talk about like the off-field stuff, like the finances, the contracts. It gets really businessy.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
I can imagine. Yes.
The clauses, everything, the agent detail, like the Deshaun Watson thing. I mean, and the Tua thing. Those are things you kind of like. Wow, like you're really in like huge surprise. But anyways, Dan, you'll be in Disney World next week. So
taking the kids. Yeah, see you in 2 weeks.
Should be fun. Right. Should be nice and cool. Anyways, have a great one.
Right.
And this was
all right.